Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is entitled, Draw the Blinds on Yesterday, and this is episode 5. It was written by Marcus L. Rowland, and our GM is Mick Swan. Once again, I'll be doing the recap as Father Damielos. So, without further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. A letter of update to Metropolitan Theodoros of Epistomopolis, Greece. Eυλογείτε, Your Eminence. I find myself at a loss for words when contemplating the most recent events. It is with all honesty that I attempt to present them to you, though they will seem incredible in the extreme. I had the opportunity to speak at length with the local Anglican pastor and express my heartfelt concern over the recent deaths of the two small children. I thought that it would be prudent to visit the location of the attack, in that it could prove important to our investigation. The children had been murdered near a place the locals call Drew's Pool. It is a favorite swimming hole during the summer months. Our plans were to visit the pool and then go onward to the farm where the cultists make the honey that nobody buys. The location was a short walk into the woods south of Lower Poolford, and we arrived without incident. For the sake of the children, I took myself aside, and I recited the Trisagion for the dead, while the others did a little exploring. There was a small shrine to the memory of the children set up by locals. It was very moving. God rest their little souls, and may their memory be eternal. I then noticed the others were gathered around a very large Saracen stone at the far end of the pond. As I approached, I felt a sense of unease. There was something very wrong. I said a small prayer of exorcism, but the feeling did not go away. I wondered if there might be something else at work here. Then I could smell ozone in the air, like electricity. The hairs on the back of my neck began to stand on end. Some of the others took flight, but I knew if it was a demon, that it was my responsibility to drive the thing back. So I steeled myself and I recited the Jesus prayer in my heart. And that is when it appeared. A creature, like a huge ape, seemed to unfold in front of us as if it was crinkling into existence from another dimension. It was hideous and terrifying. The air was filled with a disgusting, fetid odor. I immediately commanded it back to hell in the name of our Lord and God and Savior Jesus Christ. I doused it with holy water and held out my cross, but it was completely unaffected. I thought at first it must be incredibly strong. Then, one of the others, Ron Lisbon, he attacked the creature, and I knew in that moment that it was not a demon, but a physical creature, an animal of some sort. Now began a battle. We began beating on the thing as it swung about clumsily. It was a great and heroic battle, men against the monster. We threw rocks. We tried to push it into the water. I do not think the creature expected such opposition. It flailed about ineffectively like a cotopolo, while Mr. Banks, Mr. Fletcher, and I pummeled it with sticks. Then it grabbed Mr. Lisbon and folded out of existence for a moment, but then reappeared next to the Saracen stone. I think Mr. Lisbon lost his mind a little. He screamed and cried and beat on the creature with great fury. The creature howled in anger and charged at poor William, who was struck with its massive claws and sent sprawling on the ground, but I managed to hit it in the head as it passed. Then Mr. Fletcher picked up a large pole and he skewered it like a souvlaki, doing it considerable damage. And that is when we saw her, the woman from the airport with the green scarf and the sunglasses, though she was now dressed like a modern huntress. Her face was completely stoic and unemotional, like a statue. I wondered if she had summoned the creature, but then she drew a long black knife and threw it at the monster with great force, cutting through its neck and bringing it down. It was quite amazing to see. I ran to help William, who was injured, and unfortunately then Rod, in his madness, he turned and he struck a blow across my shoulders. I think fear had driven him mad for a moment. I fell forward onto poor William. There was great confusion, but we began to gather our composure and look around the area for the woman. For a brief moment, we thought she had just vanished. Then Nigel Bathington pointed at the woman, who was attempting to hide behind a very small bush, and to call her to accounts. And that is where we stand now. As these brave heroes breathed a sigh of relief at the battle victorious, Winston lay in the grass nearby, smiling, and as only an English bulldog can smile. As always, I ask your continued blessings and prayers for myself and for my companions, and indeed for the whole of humanity. Presbyteros Damielos Grigoritis, St. Hieronymus Parish, Norbiton, London, England.
Thanks, Tom. Before we get on with the serious business of role-playing, I'm going to need a couple of you to make some rolls for me. First of all, Rod, I'm going to need a Constitution roll from you, please.
Yep. I'll remind you, just in case, if you weren't remembering, I still had 2 more rounds of madness, but
Yep.
3. Feeling quite well.
Okay. Well, I'll explain what that's about later.
Okay. It means you can hit us way harder.
Just wail on the father a little bit.
And I'm also going to need a Constitution roll from William as well. Josh?
Hello, Josh.
I'm going to need a Constitution roll from you.
Sorry about that. I was on mute. That's a 54. That's a pass.
That's a pass. Okay. You're not feeling great though, even though you've passed. No. You've lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, I have taken a major wound per my notes from last time.
Yeah, you're feeling rather woozy, and would certainly benefit from some first aid.
Well, I would do some first aid on him, but I've been hit rather severely.
He's been struck.
I've got first aid, so I'll scurry down the hill or whatever.
Well, wait, you're looking at the woman behind the bush right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But I'm saying once we get her taken care of, I can help folks out.
You know what, Nick? That's actually that's against Constitution, right?
Yes.
I was looking at strength. I'm sorry. That is actually a fail. I have a 40 in Constitution.
That's a fail. Okay. In that case, I need you to lose 1 point of damage. Take 1 point of damage, please.
Will do. Sorry about that.
Because you are, I believe the colloquial term is, there's claret everywhere.
I'm going to go ahead and try and subdue Rod and keep him from flailing around and causing more trouble.
Tom, do you have the cards?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to need to find out. What Rod is attacking this turn.
Oh yeah.
What is Rod attacking?
It's like It's like a game show. It's time to play. What's Rod attacking? Come on down, Rod.
1d6, Jeff.
Stay away from me, Cam. Don't come near me. 6.
Shit. You're attacking the ally nearest you, which is me.
Keeps wailing on the father. All those years of Catholic school just coming out.
I'm still trying to keep him from doing that.
Brawl, right, Mick?
That's right. Yes.
Oh, I missed on that one.
I got my
Okay.
dice from last week.
Rod, come to your senses.
Did you get a new set of dice for this one?
Did you give your old ones a good talking to?
I went and found the old bag of dice.
Oh,
We're in trouble now.
I brought out the old dice. Now
I,
we're
of
in
course,
trouble.
I, of course, do not in any way blame Rod. He is quite out of his mind, but I need to help William. So
Around the same time that he swings a punch at you, you notice that you are very definitely not alone in this place. People arrive in the form of 2 uniformed police officers who clamber over the top of the hill,
And
seemingly in the response to you letting out a cry as Rod flails at you.
And what's the woman doing at this time? Is she trying to hide behind her shrubbery, or what's?
She is moving off through the trees at this point.
I will follow her.
Okay. Oh, for
All right.
fuck's sake!
All right. That's good for me.
a woman.
Fucking 95.
Oh, she is the worst hider ever.
Mrs. Lady, will you please stand up?
So she moves off.
In the movie Thriller?
Not quite. Not quite managing to hide from you. You can still make out her form as she's moving through the trees.
Now I'm actually pointing at her and hollering, "Stop her! Stop her!" To the cops that are coming over the hill, because I assume they're going to intersect.
Okay. Let's have a...
Come on, crappy dice.
Okay. Well, the second policeman, the younger policeman, the older one sort of taps him on the shoulder and gestures towards you, and he starts walking towards you.
Okay.
Whereas the older one is now descending the path down to the pool.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay.
Back down at the pool, this policeman is now arriving, and he says, "What's going on here? What's all this then?" What's the? Oh, what the bloody hell's that?
Is he closer to them or to us?
He is just coming down the path towards you.
So he's over by William. I mean,
Yes.
by Bill.
Yes, Bill's at the top
Nigel.
of the path. Nigel is
Okay.
at the top of the path. The younger policeman has just headed off to where he's standing. The older policeman is now coming down the sort of, well, they're sort of earthen steps that are leading.
Is the creature still there?
It is, yes.
Really? Okay.
So I'm
Dang.
like,
All right then.
we have killed the creature. Stop hitting me.
The policeman is just at the moment sort of about 2/3 down the stairs and is just standing there, sort of rooted to the spot, just mouth open, aghast, and staring at the thing that's lying there.
I'm gonna kind of look over at the police officer and be like, "Hey mate, a little help down here." Like, I'm bleeding all over the place, so
He sort of glances at you momentarily, and then his sight is drawn immediately. It's like he can't stop looking at it. It's just. If anyone wants to make a psychology roll, you can.
Can I do a finger snap roll? Hey, come too. Watch what we're doing. Come on.
You need it.
can
You need
slap
at
it,
least
yeah.
a 50 in finger snapping.
I got a
You can
13.
clap your hands.
Well, I have one hand trying to keep William from hitting me in the head. I mean, from a rod hitting me in the head.
Well, let's say yes. You have to shout quite a bit, but eventually he sort of snaps out of it, and oh yeah. Sorry. What the bloody hell is that?
It's some sort of creature from the zoo, maybe. It attacked us. Our friend is
Christ
very
almighty, I've
hurt
never
here.
seen anything like that. Oh blimey. All right. So someone put some pressure on the wound. Put some pressure on the wound. I'll call for I'll call for backup.
It's his arm that's wounded, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mick, I rolled to try and subdue Rod there, and I got an extreme.
Okay. In that case, you've how do you intend to subdue him?
Full Nelson him and drag him away.
Okay. All right, you've done that. You have his arms up behind his back, and your hands braced against the back of his neck.
Easy there, Tiger. Calm down. Calm down.
He's struggling.
Calm down.
Rod, for some reason, Cam has just grabbed you,
Calm
From
down.
behind, it sounds like.
forced your arms back. Yeah, it's you're not entirely sure what's going on now,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Can I
nonetheless,
make
you
a-
are going to have to roll a d6 at this point.
You let go of me. 1.
Fight your physical surroundings. In this case, I think that might be Cam.
I'm forced to
Easy
agree
there,
with you.
easy
Yes.
Or you're mad at the rock in front of you, or the little flower that.
So I think I'm going to ask you both to make a brawl roll.
I sort of have it in my mind that I fight my physical surroundings, which would be the dirt underneath of me because my arms are pinned. So I'd be like slamming my feet down and trying to like step on his toes.
Yes, or push him back. possibly.
Ooh, yeah, push him back.
I got not 6 on my brawl.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna beat me. 42.
Okay. Rod pushes his feet down and digs his heels in and really sort of tries to slam you backwards, but you manage to brace yourself against it and you sort of wheel around a little bit, but you keep your footing.
Easy there. Calm down, Rod. We got the beast taken care of. He's dead. Calm down.
He's flailing and screaming and frothing at the mouth.
Easy there, Tiger. Come on. Easy. I don't know. Can I try and persuade or break through to him there somehow?
He should actually be coming out of it by now.
Yeah, he's only got one more round to go of this, so I mean,
Okay.
we can. I think it's easier to just sort of role play it out as
Sure.
that fits in quite nicely
there.
with you grabbing him at this point. I think.
Rub his belly.
Take his trousers down.
Good boy.
He's confused Rod with my bulldog, and he's just,
Easy there.
Okay.
Can I try and do first aid now?
Yes, you can attend to the first aid now.
So
16 out of 30. Almost hard.
Okay, well, I'll say that you managed to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
That's pretty
I've
good.
torn off a piece of my robe and made a kind of a tourniquet to keep the blood from.
To
Yeah,
be able to pull that off, given the
You've
concussion.
stabilized him, and I think that means, Josh, you get 1 point back.
Thank you, Father.
Josh, what was that you said to me?
Stabilized.
I said that was pretty good given the concussion you probably had from the
Actually, he
beating.
said that he hit me in the shoulder, so
Oh, okay.
Dead armed.
I'll probably have back trouble now. But
It's a rotator cuff injury.
So I'm back up 1 point.
They're a bugger there.
everything is
thank-
going to be okay. We killed the monster.
Thank you, Felden.
While
go
you're
back to
binding
that.
him up, you can hear the policeman calling for assistance, and he's jabbering a bit, but he's saying whatever it is here, and then they've killed it, and it's dead. Just send one of the Land Rovers, and there's someone hurt. We're going to need a medical.
There was a
medical.
woman who was involved. Did you see her?
I saw there was a fella up top. I sent young Constable Bacon after. I genuinely used to live in a village where the policeman was called PC Bacon. I sent young PC Bacon after him, and
You are so awful at off-the-cuff names.
that was literally. I used to live in a village, and our local policeman was called PC Bacon.
I believe you, Mick. I believe you.
Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, the weir pig. And
So I'm talking to young Constable Bacon, evidently,
yes,
and I'm pointing at the woman. I'm like, she's involved. Go get her. You need to talk to her.
oh right. Yeah, we had a report about a woman.
Well, there she is. Go get her, young man. Go get her. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. You go do your job and go get her.
Okay, he pulls out his truncheon,
Oh God.
and yeah, it wouldn't be a proper baton, would it? 80s, yeah, it would be a truncheon. He pulls out his truncheon, and stomps off after her.
Good. I thought I was getting ready to
in
get a
quite
concussion.
determined manner.
All right.
Stay there, he says.
He sounds
not sure-
American.
He says, stay there, and you're not sure whether he's talking to you or Winston.
It can go for both of
And
us.
off he trots after
So-
the woman.
So I'm going to head down to the pool and try to offer some assistance. Now that we've hopefully Constable Bacon will catch up with her.
The spelled Bayken.
Of course it is. Of
And,
course it is.
As he as you descend the steps to the pool, the smell hits you. There's
Mhm.
a truly fetid stench down there. At this point, now that you're all back down there, could you all make a power roll for me, please? And where is Lieutenant Nielsen right now? Are you still back in the village?
I am apparently at the bar drinking.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to you shortly.
I
Team,
passed
that's a
barely.
hard
Passed.
pass.
I did not make mine.
Okay, any of you who fail, you will lose 1 magic point. Right, look now, this now technically now this is a crime scene, right? I mean, I don't know. God knows what the crime is. I don't know what this thing is, but people, God knows. People
But
are going to
we
want
have-
to see this.
We have killed the monster that killed the children.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, mate. I don't doubt it at all.
They're bloody
Um,
heroes. They are. They're heroes.
Well, look, so there's people still going to want to have words with you.
Of course.
I mean, we've got like we've got officers down from. Well, look, we'll discuss that when we get back to the village. But right now, just wait for the backup to come, and we'll patch your mate up, and then we'll get you back there. But God's sakes, what? I mean, what is it?
It must be from a zoo, like a a tropical ape from some strange place in the Himalayan mountains, maybe.
Strange
Oh.
place that smells like shite. Huh. God.
I think that might be William.
Oh, look at the claws on it. Blimey.
He literally knocked the shit out of me.
Like a
First you said it and then you did it. Shit. And my pants are
there's-
soiled.
like a three-toed sloth.
There's always been funny stories about this place down here, but I mean, bloody hell.
Hey,
I thought it was all like ghost stories and things, but look at that.
The Wiltshire Ghost.
Oh dear. I reckon you're right, mate. Bloody state of that, look. Jesus. Stinky old bugger.
Make sure you take a picture of it now that it's a crime scene.
Oh, they'll bring cameras with them. Dare say.
I bet those newsmen will be all over this now. They won't be.
We've just got a couple of officers. There's a first aid, and we've got a SOCO coming over. Scenes a crime officer coming over. I mean, as I say, I don't know what the crime would. I don't think there's a crime.
Well, I would rather not have my picture in the newspaper. These men are the true heroes.
Well, you know, oh dear.
I took it down with my bare hands.
He was amazing. He was amazing. He fearlessly reached.
That reminds me. Sorry, before that, you've got one last throw of the dice left.
And the cop's just standing there watching this.
He's just afraid. He's okay. He's just afraid.
Yeah, if it's a critical. No.
Oh no! He attacks the dead monster.
No, he attacks the cop. That would be bad.
Another one. So I don't know if that would be the ground or
That's just an inanimate object nearby.
Okay, you're basically just stomping on the ground and thrashing about.
Mhm.
It's the last throes of it, so I'm not going to make anyone roll for it because you're virtually exhausted at this point.
Yeah, I think, and then I'm gonna basically just collapse and sit down.
There we go.
Yes,
There we go. Take her easy.
Did
Take her easy there.
While you're holding it, he just goes kind of limp. in
Did you
your
take
arms.
any damage
I'll
from
let him
the
go
creature
when he
attacking,
goes
or is he good?
What it says on the card is after your 10 rounds, you fall to the floor exhausted, make a hard constitution roll, or you pass out.
Oh wow. Good night, gentlemen.
Oh, that Greco-Roman wrestling done wore him out.
I don't think we'll have to worry about Rod. I think he's tuckered out here, eh?
I would offer to help carry him back, but I'm just kind of hanging here.
Yeah.
Lug chose then to stop snoring because I did just move the microphone over to him to try and get a snoring sound effect, but he's stopped. Unfortunately.
Make sure that Mr. Lisbon is not like in distress, that he's just exhausted and asleep.
I'll go make him comfortable. I'll make sure he's, not choking on his own bile or whatever.
I'll help him out with that.
Put a stick in my mouth so I don't bite my tongue.
Those of you who are still conscious, make a listen roll.
Oh yeah.
03.
No, I missed it by 6.
Okay, well if you passed it, you can hear the sound of a vehicle approaching.
Like a siren?
Not a siren, but just a vehicle approaching.
He mentioned the Land Rover.
Yeah, which will be the police Land Rover.
Did we leave Lieutenant Francis back in the bar? Somebody should tell him.
Oh, don't you worry. You'll be back in the village soon enough. We're gonna need to have a word with you, as I say, and we don't want to do it down here. Christ, we're gonna have to get something to bring this thing back, but I don't want it in my police car.
You can never get that stink out.
No. We'll try and get like a.
You'll lose that new car smell.
Oh dear. Well, as soon as we've got you back to the village, I'll leave Constable Bacon down here to guard the place, and we'll see if send someone over to Old Ennals and see if we can get a tractor and a trailer.
Make sure he's got a gun. I don't want that thing playing possum, coming back to life, eating bacon. Eating bacon. Did you see what I did? Yeah. Eating bacon.
I don't get it, sir.
No. My dog gets it.
It's spelled B-A-Y-K-E-N. doesn't make any sense, that joke. So.
No. Gotta have a sense of humor in these hard times.
Bloody townies. They're highfalutin comedy clubs and.
That's comedy gold.
I bet you watch that Fist of Fun on the telly, don't you? I don't understand it myself.
I love Benny Hill.
So we headed back into the town then to, like, I don't know, get questioned.
Well, a few minutes later, the Land Rover turns up, and you have to go through the rigmarole of the two policemen and the ambulance man and the scenes of crime officer, all standing around for several minutes saying, "Core, bloody hell, what's that then? Look at the size of the claws on that," etc., etc., which they do for several minutes.
Take a picture of me next to it.
It is a tree sloth. I saw it on National Geographic on the television.
The ambulance man sort of looks at the first aid work on your arm and doesn't particularly look like he can add anything to it, and just sort of helps you into the Land Rover. That seems to be the extent of his abilities.
Okay.
He will need stitches.
Oh well, we'll have him back at the doctor's. Yeah, I dare say Dr. Armitage will sort that out for him. That'll be all right. We'll get him over the doctor's straight away. And the policeman says, "Well, look, I'm going to have to ask you to come back into the village with me. We're going to need statements from all of you about what happened."
Of course. Can we pick up our friend from the bar, Mr. Lieutenant Francis Nelson? He's a sky marshal.
He gets lost easily.
Apparently with a drinking problem.
All right, yeah, all right, yeah. We'll pop by. It's only down the road from the village hall, so there's no problem. I don't know where Bacon's gone. Here, Eric. Yeah, Sarge. You and Keith stay here, and mind this thing. Just stay up on the ridge, because it bloody stinks down here. Burns my stomach. And don't touch it, for God's sake. But we'll send someone back with a trailer. And where is that boy? PC Bacon, come in, over. Oh, these bloody radios are always on the blink. Never mind. We'll find him. He'll turn up. He always does.
Do we see him anywhere? We look around.
Oh, he's always wandering off somewhere. Where did he say the address is, Nigel? Where did he say he was going? Did he? What was he up to?
He was following that lady that I told you about that was here, and she needs to be questioned about this, and you sent him off, and he grabbed the truncheon, and he was off lickety-split.
Lady? What, up there in the trees?
Yes.
Ah, well.
She was trying to get away, and I was going to do a citizen's arrest, but, my legs gave me and whatever, and, I needed to watch the dog, and so I asked for his assistance.
That's
The
funny.
woman assisted us in killing the creature. She helped us
She
attack it.
was with you, was she?
No, not really. She was here by herself. We did not speak to her, but she helped us to attack the creature when it attacked us.
I'm sure she can answer some questions as well.
I think she was a bird watcher.
Oh, right. Yeah, Twitchers, isn't it? They call themselves. Yeah, we get a few of them around here. We had one of them, what are they called? Iberian storks over from Spain last year. They all come and had a look at that. Bloody massive thing it was. Jesus. Great big nests they build. Huge
Yes,
thing.
they look like pterodactyls.
Terry who?
Ah,
I
it's
watched
not-
that Terry Wogan on the television. I don't like him. My wife likes him. I hate him.
Oh, I don't like Wogan either.
We're not
bloody-
going anywhere.
bloody
Would you
wig.
mind if we
He
walk
ain't
back to
fooling
the
no one.
village?
Yeah, come on. Right, let's get you back. I'll need you up the police station. So
Beer's
Yeah.
getting warm. Let's go.
I have ripped my robe, but it's okay.
I'm
I have
afraid
another.
one of you is going to have to sit in the back. There's a seat pulled down in there. Hang on.
It's
Just
okay. I'll sit in the back.
yeah, just move that box of stuff, and don't you worry about that. Just move it over there, and we'll right, lads. You keep an eye on that. I'll be back in half an hour. Right, you are, Sarge. And he drives you off towards the village. So
All right.
what were you doing out there then?
We wanted to pay our respects to the poor children that had been so horribly taken from you. We said some prayers. I'm a Greek Orthodox priest. We said some prayers of remembrance for the children, and the creature suddenly appeared. How long? Well, that's not the question, but do you know anything about that Saracen stone?
The stone? I know there used to be there used to be quite a few of them. There was like a I don't know what you call it, like a circle of them thing.
Like
Like,
Stonehenge.
Well, yeah, but like smaller, not like with all the bits on top. But we did it in school back when the school was still well, I don't know if they're talking about closing the school down now, but that's another matter entirely. But yeah, back in school we did it in our local history class. It was about like turn of the century, about coming on for 100 years ago.
Ah,
They had what they used to call stone breakers, like religious types, like yourself, who I think they were Methodists. They used to go around the country and get rid of them. They said they were old heathen things. They were, and
yes, we don't
they'd light fires around them, and get a fire going around it, and then they throw water over it so the stone cracked, and then they'd break them up. And there's a few. I mean, there's a few of them about. There's like a lot of the old stone from it got used in some of the old farmhouses around there.
Hmm.
There's a few bits, and some of the farms have still got like the stones, the single stones, the marking. I don't know what they were marking, but they said there used to be like avenues of them, but that's what the archaeologists said. But there's one here, one there, all over the place.
Perhaps for navigation.
I hope that each stone doesn't come with its own free monster inside.
No, I never heard anything about monsters. I mean, there's
Like Cracker Jacks.
Exactly, only worse.
What is it? There's a few up. Let's have a think. There's a few up on South Wales, and I can't imagine. Can't imagine there being much in the way of anything going on up there. Funny lot.
Officer?
But,
Yeah, is there like a map of these stones? Something in the town records or somewhere nearby that we could reference?
you might be able to find something.
Okay.
I mean, oh dear, there's the library. There's probably a few bits and pieces in the library. I know that we had books about it. There were things about it when I was at school, so there must be something in there somewhere.
Okay.
It's I know they're made of granite. That's all I know. And there used to be more of them, but they all got broke up. I know that. There's a few of them lying around on some of the bits of land here and there.
It sounds very much like that old Quartermass episode, Ringstone Round, I think it was called.
Oh, I love some Quatermass, yes.
Oh,
Good
I like
stuff.
that. Yeah, it was on John Mills, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was good though. I like that. Yeah. I like a bit of telly in the evening. But no, it was all like. I mean, it's like it's nothing special around here, mate. It's Wiltshire. You know what I mean? There's barrows and enges and stones and all over the place. It was what this area was. It was all there. Well, no one knows what they were for. Like someone said they were like calendars or something. But there's a very ancient place. This village, I mean, don't let all the buildings. I know the buildings are like modernish, but most of it's from like this century. But there's been people living here for a long time. They when they built the new road at Salisbury to Bristol Road, main road up there. When they built that, which was I don't know, late 50s, I suppose. They found like loads of like human skeletons, dozens of them. They did like a mass grave they found up there,
Mm.
and like down southeast of the village.
It's not
they
that
reckon it was-
poltergeist movie. That's never a good sign.
Well, I don't know. They had like ideas about what it might be, whether it was like they were wiped out by Vikings or something, but I don't know. Could be the Druids sacrificed them, human sacrifice. They reckon they got up to that and all sorts.
Do you know if there are any of these stones at the farms nearby, like Thompson's farm?
I don't know. I think there's one up at Thompson's. I'm pretty sure there's one up at Thompson's.
That is where I forget what the man called them, yippies?
Oh, the hippies, yeah, right. Well, I mean, they're all right. They're, New Agers is what I call them.
Yes, that is the modern term now for New Agers.
Yeah, they don't cause no trouble up there. I mean,
If
keep
they're
them
not
safe.
conjuring up monsters, no.
They don't strike me as that type.
We were actually going to go visit them this afternoon. We didn't expect this to happen.
All right. Well, they're friendly enough up there. We never had any trouble with them. Well, it was a couple of years ago. Someone was living up there. Had a van, had no tax on it. But other than that, no, there's not a lot goes on around here until all this horrible business recently. I suppose last year we had trouble with the South Wales because I think they were burning their stubble or something when it was a bit too dry over the summer and caught the wood on fire, which is funny really because I never known them to burn their stubble, but terrible fire it was.
Who is this now?
South Wales.
The
So,
South.
well, there's the two big farms is Ennals. That's what's his name? Fred Ennals. That's who we've sent for a tractor to get that monkey thing out of there, and then South Wales, but they're yeah, well,
That's the one that's west east of here. Yeah.
South Wales, aye, that's right, yeah.
Mm.
They're a funny lot out there.
I heard that
Lord of themselves, they are.
I heard that Enos, he was upset because of the power cables going through his property.
Oh yeah, he thought it was going to make all his cows go barren or something.
Have
That's
we
a
arrived
fair
back in
old
the...
while ago, though. That was like 20 years ago. It had no effect on anything as far as I can see.
Have we arrived back in the town?
Yes, you're just drawing into the town at the moment.
Oh, would you mind if we all stepped into the bar? I think we need a celebratory drink of some kind.
At least something to numb this arm.
Yeah, you don't get any alcohol; it thins the blood.
I tell you what. All right, I'll get this fella to take your mate up the doctors, get him patched up, and I'll go back with Fred Ennals and get that thing back from the pond. You go off and have your drink, and I'll come and get you. I don't want any of you leaving the village.
We won't
I'm
leave.
going to need statements from all of you. Right, and just, just wait there.
Make sure you
No
go
problem,
find
officer.
P.T. Bacon.
And he drops you off at the pub. Is that your van there?
Yes, that is the church van. It has this stuff on
Right.
the side. You can see.
And he writes down the license number of your van.
It is a little fish.
And this is all right. All right, Terry, you get this fella up to the doctors, and right, as soon as I got that thing back, I'll be back for you in well, have a drink and I'll be back for you.
All right, we'll see you in a
He
few.
drives off towards the doctor's surgery.
Now, everybody, when we go into the bar, tell Lieutenant Francis Nelson that absolutely nothing has happened to us today.
He's buying drinks, right?
Even though you all look bruised and battered.
It's
Yeah,
nothing.
Buying the drinks. He's buying the drinks.
Should one of us go with William to the doctors?
I'll go with him.
William, do you want us to go with you?
I'm good. It's just an arm.
Okay. Well, you know what?
I think we need to have somebody with them there. What?
I will go if you want.
Oh, that's more kind of you guys.
Well, you were very brave.
I think Father Damielos likes you.
Oh, very stupid. What do we see?
Don't be ridiculous.
He's showing some leg, He's showing
I
some
think
leg there.
he deserves a hero's hurrah.
Well, he's already gone down there, but you saw which direction he went, and there are very few buildings there. It's not difficult to find the doctor's surgery if you need to find it. It's like a cottage hospital thing.
Right.
There's a sign outside.
One that says doctor on it.
Yes, it says Lower Pulford Cottage Hospital.
Well, somebody just needs to retrieve Lieutenant Francis Nelson and bring him to us then. So We can have a drink afterwards.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the lieutenant.
The doctor is going to be like freaked out when we all walk in the front door. It's like, oh my God, why are all these people here?
Well, Lieutenant Nelson is sat at the bar, regaling the barman with some stories of his exploits in the skies, in the heady
Hey.
world of sky marshalling.
Hey, Lieutenant. Hey.
Yeah? What? What?
Yeah. Hey. Why don't you come with me to the doctor's office here? We had some interesting things happen. We'll explain to you when we get there, but we need you over there.
Is somebody hurt?
Yeah. We got some. We ran into a little bit of trouble out there. We'll explain it to you, but we need you over at the doctor's office.
Okay, just give me a minute. I say, hey, can I get my bill there, barkeep? And I pay up and I head out.
All right, let's go.
Okay, I will follow you.
All right, heading over to the doctor's office with the lieutenant.
All right.
You missed something. You missed a humdinger there.
Really? What?
Man, I think we solved the case of the kids. There was an animal.
Really?
And,
What kind of animal?
We're not sure, but we got in a fight with it and we took it out.
You're not sure what kind of animal is it? Did you get a?
It's
Did
something.
you at least see this animal?
It's like a monkey, a big ass monkey.
Monkeys in this area of the.
Yeah, I don't think it's local here. Yeah, we'll tell you more about it when we get to the doctor's office.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
May I
get over
ask
there.
who's injured?
Forgot Josh's character's name. Sorry,
William.
William. Yeah, William got injured, and Rod's got freaked out and passed out in the process. So they're at the doctor's getting looked at.
Okay, let's go to the doctors and see what's going on.
Yeah, they weren't too far off with the assessment that it was some kind of monkey there. Yeah, it's big ass, nasty smelling thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The father will tell you more about it.
Well, you've got plenty of time to let him know what happened, because you're kept waiting for quite some time while they patch him up. I shall tell you that now.
Okay, so now that if we're all in the waiting room, I say to them, so trying to put all of this together, the creature was obviously something that could travel through time and space. You could see it appear, disappear, and move. That must be in some way related to our disappearing and reappearing. Something has happened here. That's not a creature from this planet. I have watched a lot of National Geographic. I've never seen anything like this thing. Have you ever?
I can't say that I have, but I don't think it's some creature from another planet there, Padre. It's got to be somebody's monkey. Maybe came from like what's that? With a research facility. Is there like a research facility?
Like you're thinking like a mutant.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that seems to make more sense than something that's.
But that
not
wouldn't
of this
explain.
Earth.
It wouldn't explain though why our airplane disappeared and reappeared.
I don't think we got answers for that right now.
No, we don't. But I'm thinking that something opened up. Okay, I'm going to use terminology from things like Star Trek and stuff like that. Something opened a rift in time and space, and our airplane flew into it, like that book, The Langoliers, and then something came out of it from the other side, and we just killed it.
That's a pretty long.
It
That's
is
going out
crazy.
on a limb there.
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I believe that there are things that we cannot see in this world. They are right on the other side of our perception. We are not able to perceive them, but this is why we call what we call demons and angels and creatures like this. This was something that came from the other side.
I don't know. That's going out on a limb there, Padre. I think there's something more down to earth about this whole thing.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
But then the question is simply, who is responsible?
That's a good question.
Rod Serling's responsible.
I'm still thinking that it might have something to do with the cultists, that they have... Because you all felt that there was something wrong near the Saracen Stone, and the policeman said that there is a Saracen Stone there, and that there are pieces of Saracen stones in the foundations of these houses. It all seems too much like Children of the Stones, you know?
It's just that's. I don't mean to say nonsense there, Padre, but that's just like crazy. You know that what you're talking about. It's like fiction and stuff. Like
Yes.
You know?
You need, however, to have an open mind. You don't need to believe it, but there is something pointing in that direction. It might have a completely scientific explanation. I'm hoping that is what it has.
it's probably
but-
what it is. I mean, come on, really?
But whether it is a scientific explanation or a metaphysical explanation, it's still pointing in the same direction. We can still follow it in that direction, and we will find out. Maybe they have a mutant breeding program that we don't know about, but we'll find out about it.
Well,
whether
that's
we
far fetched,
pursue it.
but that sounds more realistic than some kind of creature from another world.
There's
Yeah, no.
government's
I-
behind it.
No, yeah, like you said there, Father.
That
I think the best, I think the more logical one is there might be a mutant breeding program, but your other explanations are, yeah, they're absolute. I don't think they are correct.
But Lieutenant, you didn't see it. We saw it fold space and appear in front of us out of nothingness.
Well,
No animal on this planet can do such a thing. No
What?
science that we know of can do such a thing.
as
It's like the fly.
if I see it, then I'll believe that there's this rift thing. But since I never seen this thing in action, I'm not going to believe that it's this rift.
I never took you for a science fiction guy there, Padre.
Oh, well, you know, we have a television. There's not always stuff to do. And I'd rather like... I really need to pick out my iPad and decide what was actually existing in 1987.
But
Doctor Who.
those are just fake.
Babylon 5. I like Babylon 5.
Babylon.
They are
Five
fake,
is
but
like
they
seven.
are
Babylon 5 is
ideas.
90s.
Oh,
Babylon
it's not
5 is
even-
Lake
90s.
7.
Yeah.
Lake 7,
Bat-
yeah.
Battlestar Galactica.
With,
Well, I'm about
Bogart.
just finding what this thing's about here. I mean, it's, you know, I think there's some kind of reasonable explanation for it. And I think that's where we should need to be going, is some reasonable explanations and reasonable looking into this thing. I mean, as opposed to, you know,
I
some
think
kind
so
of
too, but
hoopy-doo sort of stuff, you know?
I still think that it is reasonable to find the cultists. Don't you?
I don't
think if
disagree
they
with
have
you on
one
that.
of those stones up there, I think we need to be up there cracking it, like the officer said.
No, that's private property, man.
About this
You're not gonna
time,
be too happy about that sort of thing.
the
We'll
the
buy
door,
some honey; they'll be happy.
the double doors open,
Maybe.
and And William is escorted in by
It's a boy.
nurse. Just as he's coming through the door, the nurse says to him, and make sure you take 2 of these 3 times a day and take them with food.
Thanks, love.
And then make sure you need to see your own doctor in 10 days' time to have the stitches taken out. So for the time being, your left hand is sort of, your left arm is very tightly wrapped up. And you've been given, in addition to the pills, you've also been given some gauzes to replace the dressing yourself.
What kind of pills?
And you're in a sling. They're just
Pain. Yeah.
Oh God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and my mind goes blank sometimes. And antibiotics.
Brian pills.
It's
Brian Thompson pills.
oxytetracycline.
Oh, you can work your
Broad-spectrum
clothes.
antibiotic. There you are. Because I'm a doctor. I know these things. So, not that kind of doctor. So yes, so you've been patched up. You know, you're not in any danger. You're not losing any blood. The wound has been closed to an acceptable surgical standard, thanks to the NHS, and it won't be until you've slept overnight. I'll let you have some hit points back when you've slept. But you're functional. Your left arm is not so functional, but you generally are functional.
Okay.
And you kind of feel okay.
Should we find a place in town to stay overnight?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what time is it now?
Time to drink.
It usually goes good with painkillers.
I just realised that Rod is still unconscious.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. I was like, is he still with
what's
us?
up with Rod there? Is he okay?
I'm actually
Also, he's unconscious still in the field because nobody thought to bring him in the van with him.
I just assumed we loaded him in too.
We're counting heads. 1, 2, 3.
Like,
Buddy system, come on.
So
Buddy system.
Rod, you come to by
In the
pool. There's a policeman standing over you, and as you open your eyes and gaze up at him, moving your head up to look at him, the policeman says, "Bloody hell! I thought you were dead." He's still alive, this one.
Where am I? Are we in heaven?
No, mate,
and you
you're in
can you
Pulford.
smell bacon? There's bacon in heaven.
Look, mate, you catch your death out here. You better get back into the village here. Sarge, this one here, there's one over here asleep, Sarge. Passed out or something. Over here in the bushes. Another one of them Americans.
They're known for that.
Passing out in the bushes. God, we've got enough of them up at Thompson's. Dear, oh dear. Right, come on. Jump up. You come in here in the Land Rover with me. We'll drive up with Fred and get this thing taken in. And God alone knows where we're going to put it. I suppose we could put it in the kennels.
Still
You ain't had
in
any
shame.
police dogs for like 8 years. Budget won't stretch to it. No calls for it. No call for it. Right, come on then. You all right to walk?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, well, you
A
get in
little
the
woozy.
passenger seat, and you ready to go, Fred? Fred, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. Got a very deep voice, Fred. He's a man's man. And you set off in a sort of makeshift convoy.
Okay.
The 2 policemen in the back are in the passenger seat. other sergeant driving, and you're followed by an old, rather nice old Massey Ferguson tractor and a trailer. Looks
Are they
like
dragging this thing?
It's on a trailer.
Oh, okay.
They've somehow managed to lift it up onto a trailer. You didn't see how because you were unconscious at the time. And you're in the car. I mean, it's only about a sort of 10-minute drive. I mean, it's all overland. You have to go quite slowly in four-wheel drive. I'm not sure whether that's high or low differential. I'm not really that skilled with four-wheel drive.
It would be low if we were doing steep hills.
Oh well, it's quite flat and wooded. So you're moving quite slowly, but it's not that. I mean, it's a footpath, so it's sort of clear. But about 5 minutes in to the journey, you see there's someone standing in the track up ahead, waves to the car, and the car stops, and it's another policeman. And the sergeant leans out the window and says, "We've been trying to get you on the radio." And the other policeman says, yeah, sorry, Sarge, I think I got lost or something. I just I was out looking for that woman, and then it got dark, and I must have got turned around or something. Oh, go on, we'll get in the back then. And he gets in the back, and the others have to squash up to let him in.
That's good.
And yes, in another 5 or 6 minutes, and then you hit the village. And the tractor heads off down to the police station. The 3 police officers in the back get out and start walking in the direction the tractor's gone. And the sergeant takes you to the pub.
Okay.
Now at this point, the rest of you, what are you doing when you leave the doctor's surgery then?
We're going to head to the pub.
Going to
So,
the pub.
okay.
Going to the
Now,
pub.
now, William, do you want to stay in the little wheelchair, or are you going to man up and walk for yourself?
Oh no, you only get the wheelchair as far as the door.
Yeah.
Then I get
I'm
out.
teasing him.
And they just
I'm
dump you
teasing
out.
him.
Get out. Come on. You're well now. Bugger off.
So what time
Rise
is it?
up and walk, Lazarus.
Don't take those with strong drink.
Oh.
No, what
Well,
make
we
you
No,
drink?
that's actually a myth. You know, they tell you not to take antibiotics with drink, but there's actually very little contraindication for most antibiotics with drink. Although if anyone has got any medical training that contradicts that, and you're watching this, please leave a comment below telling me that I'm wrong. But we are specifically talking about oxytetracycline, probably at quite a low dose of 50 milligrams or something. But anyway,
Just tell Mickey's wrong anyway, just for the hell of it.
Just you're wrong.
There's so many wrong things about you.
You're
What
wrong.
I heard is that I'm going to go to
says
the pub
loves
too.
to spooge 457.
Stay
You're
out of the-
wrong. You're wrong, Lefty. It's the Illuminati.
Stay out of the comments. They're poison. Except for our commenters, they are wonderful.
Our commenters are quite nice, aren't they?
They are.
They're quite,
So
they're
to the
quite
pub we
rational.
go.
Good guys and gals.
Yes, I think we're going to restrict you though to Shirley Temples.
In an effort to man up.
It's the opposite of manning up.
To be
Manning.
responsible is to man up.
Well,
That's an
Let's
appletini for the whole bettini.
We
They all
don't
just
serve,
keep-
we don't serve teeny drinks in here.
So we're walking as we're saying this. Oh look, there's Lieutenant. No. It's like, oh my God, there's Rod. We forgot all about Rod.
it's getting on a bit now. By the way, I mean it's approaching sort of it is 6 o'clock in the evening now.
How
My
could we
God.
forget about Rod?
My God, Mr. Lesbon. We completely forgot about you. We were all injured and beaten, and you killed that monster. You're so brave.
Yeah, Rod's looking a bit damp, if anything, and not terribly pleased.
Come on, let's go get a beer, Rod. We've been through enough.
You're a
Let's
good
get something.
boy, Rod. You're a good boy. Let's get you a drink.
When are we
Let's get
getting
something
out of this
stronger than
town?
beer. Well, we have to stay now because of the police.
Yeah, they want questions.
But
Yeah, the policeman is standing next to Rod, by the way.
could I
Nodding
leave
as
if I
he's saying
wanted to?
Why would you want to leave, sir?
I gotta get back to my hotel.
I have to go back to my hotel. I was not involved in this, so
We were
I mean,
just passing through.
If you need somewhere to stay, we can probably arrange something with the pub.
Awesome.
I need statements from you. We can do that after you've had your drink. And I've got a couple of colleagues who need to have a word with you as well.
Of course.
Colleagues?
The more beer we have, the better our
I'll explain everything when we go on to the incident room, sir. But you have your drink. I could do with a cup of coffee, to be honest. And he leads the way into the pub. He just goes up to the bar and doesn't even order anything. The barman just brings him a cup of coffee. That's clearly what he goes in the pub for at this time of an evening. It's a cup of coffee.
I also say to
an
the
Irish coffee.
It's just a cup of coffee. As far as you can tell, it's just brought out and it's just a cup of coffee. Given it's the evening, previously when you were in the pub, it was daytime. In the evening, pub is a little busier. And there does seem to be a little more activity.
Okay.
And when you walk into the pub, people are definitely noticing you and commenting on you. But it doesn't seem to be in an overwhelmingly antagonistic manner.
Well, we did just liberate their village from a hideous beast. Does anybody know about this? Or are we, it's all on the download right now?
Well, I imagine, though, they've seen us and the police and all that, so...
Yeah, I think while details might be sketchy, I think it would be reasonable to assume that word is spreading.
All right. Might as well order a drink. We're in a pub.
You know, it's been several hours since the incident happened, which you've spent sort of in the you've spent several hours in the cottage hospital while they fixed William up. And
Are our friends the journalists there?
There are two of the journalists are in there. The third one isn't.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter which two of them are there. They're largely
They're
interchangeable
interchangeable.
NPCs. Two of them are there and one isn't.
I would really like to know their names very specifically.
I also imagine that when the police talked to the dispatch in the police station, Margaret then immediately got on the phone and called everybody in town because she doesn't have anything else to do.
As soon as it was mentioned to anyone in one of the shops, then everyone knows.
Yeah.
As with any small village, once the postmistress knows about it, everyone knows about it.
All right. So I'll roll up to the bar and order a round for the crew.
Okay.
One armed. Hey, barkeep, round of drinks for me, friends.
Right you are, sir. and takes your order and fills it.
Cool. So we're all sitting at the bar. Is there any people of note that don't look like locals around us? I mean, obviously you got the 2 journalists. Anybody else that sticks out?
Other than the 2 journalists, it's not. You can't really tell. I mean, most of them look like they probably are locals.
Okay, so we need to put together a game plan for where we're going
You know,
from here, right?
there's like about sort of 15 or 16 people in there. It's not packed, but it's it's filling up. It's in the evening crowd is coming.
Yes, we can probably better assess once the police get finished with us. We might find out information from them also. Is anybody surprised that the woman managed to get away despite the fact that she's such a terrible, stealthy person? There is some sort of magic going on there. She can make people forget. She's a hypnotist or a mesmerist.
Well, she also tossed a demon-slaying knife into the fray.
Well,
She tossed a knife. I don't
Pretty
remember
sure.
a knife.
You were right there. She tossed the knife. It went right into the thing's
Did-
I
throat.
was too busy trying to push that
anybody
thing away.
get that knife that I heard sing about, or no?
No, I don't think so.
That's a
Knife?
good point.
We really didn't want to touch the nasty creature.
Mm,
Well, if I was there, I would have grabbed that knife.
That would have
sure you
been
would.
probably a good call.
I didn't.
You
I
weren't
don't remember
dead.
seeing it.
Yeah, big talk for a man who sat in the bar all night. I would have grabbed that knife. Yeah, I bet. Shut up.
Nigel, you should be careful. You ran like a little girl.
I did.
With a dog, with a puppy dog.
I did. He's not a puppy. He's a good boy.
All right, so
As
There
you're enjoying your drinks, you because of where you're sitting, you can quite easily see when people come in and out of the pub, and about halfway through your pints, and those of you drinking pints, and the door opens, and a late middle-aged man, dressed in brown moleskin trousers and a check shirt, walks in with one of the police officers, and the police officer sort of nods towards you lot, and then walks to the bar and up to the sergeant, and they start having a conversation. Meanwhile, the middle-aged man takes off his cap and walks over to you and says, are you the fellows what did for that thing down by the pool?
yes.
They certainly are.
Oh right, I've just
Yep.
taken it up to the police station. They've got it up there now. I don't know what the hell that is. I've never seen anything. I've been a farmer for most of my life, and I've never seen anything like that.
And who might you be?
Me, Fred Ennels. I've got a farm just a little way east of here. It's up there with me and 2 boys.
Yeah, you seem quite a bit friendlier than some of the other farmers we've met around here.
Oh, well, have you met many of them? Or?
And just one gentleman sticks out over at Corey's farm.
Oh, him. Yeah, right. Well, he would, wouldn't he? Yeah.
He's an angry gent.
Yeah, he don't like strangers up there. That's for sure. There's well, I mean, he calls himself a farmer. I think he's more of a drinker than a farmer. But
So is this guy like with the police officer? Or are they kind of just hanging out? I mean, what's the officer doing?
Isn't he the guy who had the trailer from the farm?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Rod recognizes him as the man who was driving the trailer. Yes.
Okay. So I guess I'll take a look over at the officer and be like, hey man, looking to get to bed. You got any questions? You might as well ask them now.
Well, I mean, I don't know what there is to say about something like that. It's it gave me a turn. It did. I've never seen anything like that, or smelt anything like it either. Oh dear.
So is he looking to take our statements tonight, or was that? I'm sorry, maybe I missed that, or was that planned for the morning?
He just said he needs you to stay around until he takes your statements.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll kind of look at the group and say, "Oh, gents, I don't think we can get any further here tonight, so I'm gonna find a place to stay in town."
I think we're staying here at the inn.
Oh yeah. They said something about that. Tell you. Yeah, they're he's over there sorting it out for you now. They're gonna get you some rooms here because they want to interview you or something.
Okay, so
Whatever it is
I'll
they do.
bid my party good night, and I'll head over to the inn to go rest and recover.
Yeah, good night to you, mate. Look, can I buy you fellas a drink? Because I mean, to be honest, you've done me a bit of a favour. I lost a few animals to that thing.
Of course.
I guess
Sure.
I can have one more drink.
Oh, I'm always up for drink. Thank you, sir.
He buys in a round and then sits down at the table with you. And because it's 1987, he rolls a cigarette. Because you can still smoke in pubs. Then.
Do you mind if I get one of those there?
Yeah, help yourself, pal. Yeah. I've only got green papers. They're all right.
That'll
I'm
work.
sparking up my pipe then if we can smoke.
Slow burn makes it go longer.
I don't smoke. We called it smoking the incense of the devil.
All right, yeah.
Terrible, terrible habit. But
Ah,
you may smoke. We don't care.
I only live once. I'm gonna have one, and I light it up right in front of Father right there.
He's a character, isn't he? Your mate.
Yes, I am a character. That is the nicer thing I am usually called.
So what's your plan now? I suppose you'll be well, you'll level the televisions down there soon enough.
Well, I think that we are just trying to make some sense of this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that is. You reckon it escaped from a zoo or a circus or something?
Or somebody's private collection of strange Asian Himalayan monkey bears.
Blimey. See the claws on it?
Yes.
I can't think it might come from a government facility nearby, but that's probably a long shot.
My friend
do
here.
well, Porton Down's only up the road, isn't it?
Well, I heard
all the
that
diseases and things.
I heard that monkey bear claws were an aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac, monkey bear claws. Come on.
Our friend Nigel here has sex on the brain.
I'm a retiree. I don't have sex at all.
Nigel, how much have you been drinking? It seems like you've been drinking a little bit too much.
There's no such thing, sir. There's no such thing.
Seems to me like he's acting the same way he always acts.
We're just getting started here. We deserve drink.
I'm retired. I'm allowed.
Cam's theory is that it is a mutant. My theory is that it is an extraterrestrial creature.
Oh, I like that.
What, like a Martian or something?
Do you know how hard it is to say extraterrestrial?
Extraterrestrial?
You know, like E.T., Phone Home.
Oh, like the little fella in the children's film thing
Except not so
on
cute.
the bicycle with the.
Pardon the padre here. He's into that Star Trek stuff, you know.
Like the creature from Empire Strikes Back that's white and it attacks Luke Skywalker in the movie and he cuts off its arm.
Well, no, look, I'm not gonna pick holes with your theories and things. I mean, like when I see, I read long time ago that the high voltage lines can cause unusual behavior in livestock, right? Now,
Wouldn't that
they
just be
said
radiation?
now when I first said that to people, they said I was a nutter. But now, since we've had them people move up to Thompson's, right? I've been talking to them, and a lot of scientists agree now that people who live near power lines get sick, right? And you know, and they're all these environmental and ecological people up there. I mean, that's all. You know, we were talking about that years ago. You know, just doing things the right way, the right kind of farming, and properly looking after your animals. Now, that fella you met, Corey, up there, that's his problem, mate, is that he doesn't look after his animals. He don't know what he's got. No skills in husbandry at all. Right, all he's interested in is drinking, and he's a tight bastard as well. He's a proper miser.
Doesn't look
Like,
like he gives a crap about anything at all.
Oh, he had
Nice.
the ministry up there put down loads of his pigs last year.
We did see a lot of large power lines going through his property, quite close to the house.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Was there like, how recently was this power line?
Oh, it was about 20 years ago now.
And he just had problems now, or was he having problems in the past?
Oh, he's always been a pain in the ass, but I mean, his wife died about, well, I don't know, about 1970, 71. And he took to drink after that, and it's all been downhill since then. I mean, when they put up all them cables, I mean, I can tell you a lot about them cables because it was me who ran the campaign against it, protesting against it. You know, because you know, they stunt your crops. Them electrical fields stunt your crops.
The cables go right through your property, right to Thompson's Farms, right through Southwell's farm, yes?
I think, yeah, that's about right, yeah. All round, yeah. Southwell weren't that happy about it either, but oh, they're a funny lot.
How are they funny?
Oh, you know, they keep themselves to themselves. You know, they're like, I mean, I don't know, your stories. You know what I mean? You know, I can't say I care for them much. I mean,
What kind of stories are they talking about, these guys?
well, I mean, Eric, he was he felt the same about the power cables as I did, right?
Is there? I have one more question. Sorry to interrupt you, but is there a power station nearby that we can maybe check out?
The power station? God, it's bloody miles away, mate. It's up by, God, it's out towards Bristol.
Never mind then.
About 9 or 10 miles away, I reckon.
Never mind.
Well, I don't think he's going to come and ask us any questions tonight.
No,
Should
it
we
don't
all-
look like it. I think they want to poke over that thing.
Should we retire for the evening?
I don't know. I'll go and get him for you. And hold on a minute.
All right.
And he wanders over to the bar, and you see him have a brief chat with the two police. And the young constable sort of moves to come towards your table, and then the sergeant sort of puts his hand on his shoulder and comes over instead. He's right. I've got you 3 rooms, so some of you are gonna have to share. So we've got 1 single room and a couple of twin rooms. If that's all right with you fellas. You know, I know you're keen to be on your way, but there's a lot to be discussed about this. I mean, it's very unusual, and we need to just make sure everything's covered, especially with some of you being foreign nationals. We have to tie up any loose ends before I can let you leave the village. Now, I can't, as your witnesses, rather than being arrested, called persons of interest. Now, I can't legally detain you here, but it would be very useful to me for the purposes of my investigation if you remained here overnight. And in order to facilitate that, we are willing to cover the expenses of your stay here overnight. Then once you've had a good night's sleep, we'll interview you first thing in the morning, and hopefully we can get you back on your way as soon as possible.
Excellent.
Sounds good to me.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm not doing anything else.
Right, so we'll try and sort you out some food. The kitchen's open in a minute, so he'll bring you over a menu. You can get something to eat and then get a good night's sleep. We'll sort things out tomorrow. I mean, it might be handy if you think of anything you need to tell me. If you just jot down any notes tonight, and then we can talk about that in the morning.
All right.
Sounds good.
Right then, gentlemen.
I'm a bit knackered anyway.
Yeah, I thought you might be. So I'll come and collect you in the morning, gentlemen. Good
All right.
night to you.
Good night.
And with that, he leaves the pub. And the farmer and the young policeman are still standing at the bar talking to each other.
Well, gentlemen, after dinner, I think I'm going to go straight to bed. How do we want to divide up the rooms? William has already left. We don't know whether he's taken the single or if he has chosen. He's going to be quite surprised when somebody climbs into bed with him.
I think if he's gone up alone, then they would have just given him the single. First come, first serve.
So
It's just like the army. I'll bunk up with anyone. I don't care. Me and Winston, we're low maintenance.
Well, I don't
sort out your sleeping arrangements on your own. While I just run off to the metaphysical GM's lavatory.
All right.
On this plane where I am.
It is about to start raining. for a few moments, and then it will stop. All right. So I think I will suggest that I will share a room with Rod since he beat the crap out of me earlier this evening.
Why?
Have some making up to do.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Are you sure you want to stay in a room with him?
Oh yeah, he's okay. He just
Don't punch me when I'm sleeping. I don't know what came over me.
it's okay. It was quite a traumatic moment.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of all of us.
Well, it didn't scare shit out of me, so I'm
Yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind. I am sore, but it's not your fault. We killed that monster.
we did.
We sent it back to hell where it came from, even though it wasn't a demon. So I think I am going to try bangers and mash. I don't even know what the hell that is.
sausage and mashed potatoes.
That sounds delicious. Now I want bangers and mash.
I want a toad in the hole.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yorkshire pudding with sausages inside of it.
I don't know what Yorkshire pudding is.
It's brown.
It's like a puff pastry kind of thing.
Like a pot pie?
Kind of, yes.
But instead of having chunks and vegetables in it, you have bangers and thick brown gravy.
It all sounds good.
Yes, I know my British food.
Just
Toad in the
realized
hole,
I haven't had dinner yet.
I don't know what this toad in the hole thing is, but I'll give it a go.
Oh, the GM's back. We're having bangers and mash and a toad in the hole.
Okay. All right. Well, you having dined, is there anything else you wish to do before you go to bed?
I don't think so.
No.
Okie dokie. So we'll say that you retire to your rooms.
I
And,
say
my
prayers.
And having said your prayers and made your ablutions, and perhaps done your calisthenics or what have you, or Muller system, whatever it is you're doing, you find it particularly easy to get to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Even Rod, who has already spent several hours asleep,
He's all tuckered out.
You all manage to get to sleep quite quickly. And I would like you to make a power roll for me, please.
That is a fail.
Fail for me as well.
Made it.
50 out of 75, so I made it.
Failed by 2.
Lose
For
one
those-
magic.
for those-
Lose
for
one
those of
magic
you-
point.
For those of you who fail, you have a very, very strange dream. Well, it's not even really a dream as far as you can remember. In that it doesn't have any narrative. Nothing seems to be going on. There are no familiar landmarks. But you're just aware of a strange sensation of being in a long tunnel. And the tunnel opens into a big open space. And you can't quite clearly define the edges of this open space. But you're aware that there's a fire burning there, but not a bonfire, not a fire on the ground, but a fire above you. And it doesn't seem to be like a sun. In fact, it doesn't even seem like a real fire. It seems like almost like a child's drawing of a ball of fire or a meteor, but it's just sort of floating above you. And even when you wake up, it's just a very vague sensation that you just remember this vague image of a tunnel, a clearing, and then this indistinct flaming something above you. Despite that, though, you have quite a reasonable night's sleep. You're not in any way startled by it. It's just a weird dream. So we'll skip ahead, I think, to the morning. Oh, hang on! I was gonna do a sound effect.
Oh,
But,
be careful, because the last time I played something, it blocked me from.
well, this sound effect has already been. I think this sound effect has already actually been has been used accidentally. And
Cthulhu.
dawn breaks. The morning has come.
I say my prayers.
It's quite a Cam is taking his morning cocaine. quite a quiet morning, and the only sound you can hear is the sound of clanking and rattling coming from the kitchen of the pub.
Okay. How are you doing, Rod?
Good morning, Father. Feeling
Did
pretty
you-
good.
Did you have any? Did you sleep well?
Yeah, a couple weird dreams, but
Oh, I did not have any dreams at all.
it's a rough day, I guess.
I slept like a baby, despite the fact that you have beaten the crap out of me.
I will buy you a beer when you're ready.
Don't worry about the time.
Speaking of which, to the GM, good night's sleep and a rest. Do I get any hit points or sanity back?
You don't get any sanity back, but I will let you have 1d2 hit points back.
Okay, thank you.
How am I doing after the sleep?
Yes, the same applies to. Actually, let me have a look at this thing. Oh, the similar applies to Will. You get 1d3 hit points back.
Okay. Back up to 5.
There you are. You've had quite a reasonable level. It's not sort of general hospital standard, but it's certainly a reasonable standard of medical care. You know, but you're still feeling a bit battered, and it's not just the slash wounds have been stitched up, and you've been given the antibiotics, but you're still quite bruised and battered. which is the majority of your damage you've suffered. You are served breakfast, though. Well, no one asks you what you want. You've just shown through to a room, and in the room are some hot pans things. I don't know what they're called.
Chafing dishes with.
Yes, that's the ones. With bacon and fried eggs, and there's a container full of cornflakes for those who are so inclined.
Oh, police lieutenant, we didn't see you standing there. You said bacon.
And it's it's a self-service breakfast because an English gentleman is not waited upon as breakfast.
So we eat. It
It's
tastes delicious.
quite a nice morning. It's quite sunny.
We're all glad to be
Fresh, sunny
alive.
morning. And Cam, could you make a luck roll, please?
Yep, made it.
Okay, that's fine then. You remembered to take the rolled up £20 note out of your nostril. That's fine.
That wasn't supposed to be cocaine. I was going to blame it on Winston, but
That was yes. Oh no, it's just Vicks. Honestly, I've had a line of Vicks paper rum. But I just absentmindedly rubbing my nose then, and I've never taken cocaine. So, that's a lie. So yes, so very little happens until just after you finished your breakfast, and you're basically standing around in the bar. There's coffee available from a rather disreputable smelling coffee pot. And the police officer arrives, the police sergeant arrives. Sorry if I've kept you waiting.
No, of course. Please come in. Sit down with us. Would you like some coffee?
Oh, yeah, I could do with some.
Let me get you some coffee.
Slept.
I've got this strange cup. I don't know what this is. Adventure Time? But never heard of this. I think it's from the future.
Oh, future coffee.
Coffee? How do you take it? With cream and sugar?
Just black, please. There will come a time in the future when you'll be able to get decent cups of coffee in England. Mark my words. That day will come. It might not be for about 20 years, but it will happen.
Well, as long as they don't cost more than a couple of dimes.
Oh, no, you'd never pay more than 50p for a cup of coffee. That'd be ridiculous. But now, look, I take it you've all had your breakfast and everything?
Yes.
All right, well, we better push ahead with this. If you'd all like to come with me to the police station and, to the incident room up the road.
All right.
Go to the station, and we'll get your statements sorted out as soon as possible. I tell you, I've had... Christ, we had someone from the hospital down. One of the pathologists came down from the hospital, and they have no idea what that thing is.
Really?
No idea at all. It's when he looked at it, what he said was, it's not a proper animal. He said, oh, its insides are wrong. I don't know. Just guts look like guts to me. You know what I mean? But
I look over at Cam and I go, you see?
Weird looking thing. Weird looking thing. And what's the story with that knife?
Knife.
We told you about the woman.
Right, yeah, the
You-
bird
ob-
watcher woman.
Obviously, you didn't detain the woman.
Well, young Bacon went off looking for her, and I guess he must have lost sight of her. He just says that he was following her. 1 minute he was following her, the next minute it's dark, and he didn't know where he was.
Yes, that is actually not surprising to us.
Or he got lost in the woods or something, I suppose. Bloody idiot. But no, it's very. I mean, that's why. I mean, that that knife is just made of like glass or something.
Volcanic glass.
Is that
like
what it is?
Obsidian.
It's a weird looking thing.
Are we now in the room?
You're just entering the hall at the moment. It's a village hall. It's basically where they have the jumble sales and the women's institute meetings and so forth, or the local the Christmas pantomime. But on this occasion, it's been set up as an incident room, so there are boards with photographs of the murdered children. There's a map showing where the bodies were found and the locations of the animal mutilations. It's a much more detailed map than the map you got hold of. It seems to be much more recent and on a higher scale. And
as we're walking to the Situation Room, can I want to sort of grab Cam and Rod and William and just sort of whisper something to them. Okay. And I want to say, do you think that we should just come clean and explain to them our involvement and why we are here? It doesn't make any sense to us, but it won't make any sense to them, but they'll know why we're here, what we're looking for. And tell her about the woman. Should we do this?
You think it'll produce any more clues than the ones we already have? You think they'll be able to point us in another direction?
I'm mostly afraid that they'll think we're all crazy, but...
Well, there's enough crazy stuff going on. What's a little bit more crazy added to it? And besides, I think, with all the stuff going on, coming clean might not be such a bad idea.
We can prove that we were on the airplane. We can prove that it happened over this area.
All right, I'm in.
I'm either way. I'm good. Like I said, I think coming clean may be the best. Worst thing they could say is we're crazy.
The sergeant leads you into the Situation Room, and there's a table at the end of the room, down by what would be the usually the stage. Still got the curtains drawn in front of it. And seated at that table with their backs to you are two men. One in a police uniform, the other in a suit. And as you enter as you're taken towards this table, the sergeant says, right, if you'd all like to have a seat here, and we'll get your statements one by one. And as he says that, the two men at the table turn round and look towards you. And you recognize them very clearly as the two men who interviewed you at the airport. And we shall leave it there.
Excellent. The plot thickens, you see. All right, our players included Jeff Wilkins, Bill Mize, Corey Heisted, Ford Fitch, Josh Hook, and myself with Mick Swan. Excuse me, with Mick Swan as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. One of our top patrons, Andre Boubel, has increased his pledge from $40 to $50. That just freaking blows my mind.
Dang.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Andre.
you very much.
It really
Thank
helps.
you, Andre.
Thank you, Andre.
If you would like to become a patron, visit our show, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest postings. And be sure to leave us some comments. We really like reading them. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft or the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.